How do narratives shape our understanding of the world? The word narrative can be defined as a report of connected events, real or imagery presented in a sequence of written or spoken words, sounds, still or moving objects, or a combination of these or other such sensory experiences. After getting lost from his family in India, a homeless boy named Suru was adopted by a couple in Australia. 20 years later, Suru undertakes an almost impossible mission in search for his biological mother and siblings. Lying is an award-winning drama film directed by Garth Davis, based on the non-fiction book A Long Way Home, written by Suru Brearley. The film is centered around the themes of adoption and homelessness, as it mainly focuses on the plight experiences of Suru. Lion helps develop our understanding of the world by enabling us with the awareness of the unfortunate events which happen in India, where a child who wanders from their parents for a moment can soon become lost forever. However, Suru can be considered one of the lucky ones, for not only was he adopted by a loving and caring family who were able to provide him with a better lifestyle, but was also fortunate with his results when searching for his biological family. Though equipped with limited and incorrect information on his hometown, Suru was able to reconcile with his family. The vulnerability of homeless children broadens their possibilities of experiences violence and mistreatment, which the streets of India have to offer. Young Saru, left alone to fend for himself, has led him to be placed in multiple situations, which clarifies the danger he's positioned in to the viewers. The plight of homelessness is shown first through the Saru and other homeless children sleeping on the cardboard boxes as they are left to the mercy of nature and their elements to survive. Soon after, the homeless children get attacked by kidnappers, taking the children one by one, yet Saru manages to escape the kidnappers as he outruns them. The tracking shot and over-the-shoulder perspective show that a boy in his height is bound to get lost in a crowd with many people. The vulnerability to show through the way he is unable to get through the crowd. In a city like Calcutta, with a population of millions of people, he was bound to become more lost the moment he stepped out of the train. The cross-cutting camera is used in the scene of the children in the shelter beginning to sing after Sean Deep. A boy who is also in the shelter is called to come outside, where he is met by a man who seems to come regularly for the boy, which can be seen from the way Sean Deep is refusing to leave with this man. The scene touches the sensitive topic of sexual assault. The remaining children are in fear of being next as they are aware of what is happening to their friend. There are multiple issues portrayed in the film which include child exploitation, child sexual exploitation, abuse, child labor, homelessness of children, lack of human needs, and universal human rights. In the scene of Roma checking Saru for any complications which may affect him or his working abilities, but rather found the boy to be of good health. He's exactly what they're looking for is a higher modality which indicates the certainty of the boy being sold. Nur and Rama become exposed for their true intentions on what they planned on doing to Saru rather than helping him find his mother like Nur had promised. Adopted children are unable to fully disconnect from their biological parents. The scene when adult Saru finds the plate with the popular Indian sweet named jalebis, the city of the jalebis, sense of smell, taste. The first profound catalyst of his childhood unleashes an avalanche of memories of young Saru at the market with his older brother. The following sentence said by Saru after the confrontation with his new friends, asking about his well-being, is a truncated sentence of, "I'm not from Calcutta, I'm lost." This is the beginning stage from when adult Saru remembers his past and the separation from his biological family, which occurred during the early stages of his childhood, beginning Saru's search for his biological mother and siblings. In the scene of Sue and Saru conversating about why Saru's parents chose to adopt, the cross-cutting cameras cross-cuts between Sue and Saru as it was intentional to show the emotion displayed on both of their faces while they were having this conversation. Sue tells Saru about the personal choice of not having her own biological children as there are already enough people in the world. Having a child of her own wouldn't guarantee the child would make the world a better place, so rather she chose to give unfortunate children a chance at a better life. We want blank pages where we Sue metaphorically states that although his adoptive mother took him in an attempt to redefine the course of his life, a disregard to his past is impossible. In adopting him, she adopted his past, and differentiating between written words on paper can state his past was full of unforgettable life sequences. His mother wasn't only adopting him as a person, but also his trauma and his memories of his biological family which he is unable of letting go. The traumatic past of an adopted child may negatively influence the adoptive parent's mental well-being and their ability to sympathize towards their adopted child. On the website reddit.com, a post titled Toxic Abusive Mother is made by a woman to share her unfortunate adoptee story as she lived with an abusive mother. As this girl got raped prior to her adoption, she confided in her adoptive mother at a young age, with the expectation of receiving the help she needed. Instead, her adoptive mother decided to ignore her daughter's cries for help. This resulted in the adopted child's inability to cope with the trauma, as it left her no option other than to take her issues into adulthood, which could have been avoided if only she had received the attention and care she desperately needed. The metaphor of "she let me drown in that trauma" manifests an unexplainable pain into a resembling tactility of drowning, an absence of oxygen. Rape is a situation deserving of the support of family and the help of a therapist, as such assistance would have improved the mental well-being of a 10-year-old girl, when rather the condition she was in became ignored rather than acknowledged. The inability to possess what your lungs so desperately crave, as instead of breathing in oxygen, she becomes forced into breathing in the water, breathing in the abuse and drama. When drowning, it becomes human instincts to hold your breath in for as long as possible, even though the agonizing pain of your head feeling like it's going to explode at any moment, in the hopes of being saved, is compared to the way a young girl has dealt with her mother's abuse for years, in the hope that one day her mother may love her. The fortunate events in which this young girl was placed in as a result of her mother's carelessness is established in multiple times throughout the post. The act of favoritizing one child over the other is an issue which many children fear. Unfortunately, such behavior and unequal division from parents may cause long life insecurities and long-term damage in the bond between the parents and the child. It may also do so between the favorite child and their siblings. The truncated sentence of "I give up, he got her golden star" sets the scene to be one that's competitive, as they are both in constant battle to be their favorite child. The prize is shallow, but in her eyes it's a loss of a place in her mother's heart to her brother. There is an emphasis on the abandonment of her felt towards winning the love of her adoptive mother, as her brother had already been successful in receiving all the love and attention, which becomes the main cause of the destruction and hate between the siblings. The mother's love becomes symbolized as an object, something she can choose who to give it to and when to take it away. Ironic as the writer chose to symbolize her love as a star, an achievement which her brother now holds, yet it's an impossible to hold a star, as it will burn you. The metaphor of "but you don't get a receipt when you adopt" states the adoption was final, as when you sign the adoption papers, decisions cannot be reversed. As even though the adoptive mother may have felt regret after the adoption was made, she was unable to go back on her decision, which may have been the reason why her adoptive mother was cruel towards her, as she had felt like she was stuck with her daughter now. The quote is a chromomorphism, objectifying herself to an object, as only objects can be bought and returned.